Ceylon is called the Pearl of the Indian Ocean. It is a beautiful emerald green land of tea plantations and rolling hills. The life is simple and the people are pure, hard-working, and full of devotion. It is here that Swamiji lived and worked for 12 years before he was brought to the West. Continuing on his world tour, Swamiji, accompanied by 9 American devotees, arrived into Ceylon on Christmas Day. On the road to his Candy Ashram, this group of people were waiting to welcome him home after a 2-year absence. Here he is greeted by Mr. Rasaya, a longtime devotee and neighbor of the ashram. Along the same road, a shrine has been erected, and they stop to offer puja or worship at their master's feet. They offer him refreshments after the long journey and sprinkle him with holy water. He is then brought down the ashram steps to the main hall, where many more were waiting to show their devotion. The next day, devotees came to Candy from every corner of Ceylon to celebrate Swamiji's birthday. Morning till evening was filled with expressions of their deep love and joy at having him back again. His last visit had been more than 2 years earlier. He is led from his private cottage, or kutir, down to the ashram's public hall. The morning program began with this inspiring worship of the divine grace manifested in Swamiji, and continued with offerings of devotion by young and old alike.
Sri Satchidananda Ji Maharaj ki Imbame Sulkai.
A Tamil poem describing Swamiji's great qualities was written and recited by this young devotee.
எம்மையும் நினைத்துக் கொண்டு இணைப்பொழுதேனும் ஓய்வின்றி தெய்வீக பணிகள் ஆற்றும் ஜகத்குரு Swami Satchidananda Gurudev ஆவார்.
3 of the Ponaya sisters sang in Sinhalese, the native Ceylonese tongue.
ஒளிபரப்பி வாழ்க வளர்க தவமணி பைய சுடராய் ஒளிபரப்பி வளர்க வாழ்க தவமணியே ஏசு சத்குரு மகாராஜிக்கு.
Swamiji showed us the tropical jackfruit and explained why even the noon meal was called a worship or puja.
Now, next on the schedule is Mahathir Puja, or lunch. See how the Easternians are? They offer the food to the fire god inside, the Agni. The fire god is said in Gita as Aham Vaiswanaro Bhutva. When a big congregation comes to eat together, the presence of God is there.
Whenever Swamiji is in Kandy, the Sisters of the Good Shepherd Convent donate their hall for the evening birthday program. Tonight, Indian, Sinhalese, and American devotees join in his tribute. Students of the Candy Ashram Fine Arts Society performed exquisite Bharatanatyam dances, and Swamiji presented one student with a graduation diploma. Father Joachim Pillai expresses everyone's thoughts in these words.
Dear friends from America and all the others who have come to welcome Swamiji, the Swamiji on this day must make a resolution to spend at least 3 months of each year with his devotees here in Ceylon. I think 1 month would not be sufficient.
Padma and Jaya Rasaya, two students of the Candy Ashram Fine Arts Society, danced the part of Lord Shiva and his consort Parvati. Alice Coltrane brought her harp all the way from America to play on this night.
Real truth is expressed by silence and understandable by silence.
We started the new year in a most blessed and auspicious way. The 1st of January found 24 of us together beginning a 10-day retreat under the guidance of our beloved Gurudev. We were an international group. Many of the people had come from halfway around the world to take part, and it was unique in every way. The retreat was conducted at the YMCA Youth Center camp in Wellamata, a beautiful spot high up in the mountains with a commanding view of the lush green scenery and tea plantations for miles around. For 2 days, we followed a strict retreat schedule until, much to our surprise, Swamiji made everything completely voluntary, except the morning and evening meditations and the beautiful silence. We were even more surprised to find that things went on as usual, even the Karma Yoga, and we all became much stronger in self-discipline. With Swamiji, we all visited the quiet estate of Mrs. Inga Fairweather, the retreat organizer.
The air is from nature, the water is from nature, the food is from nature. We take things from nature, so we have to return things to her. We can't return exactly as what we take, but we can do it in another way. We can convert the air, the light, the water, the food into energy and utilize that energy for the benefit of the world, then we are not debtors.
Back at the retreat grounds, we tried some stomach cleansing kriyas under Swamiji's tender directions.
Okay, come on. Drink as many cups of water as possible. You have to fill up to your neck and then throw it. Now that's the way you can clear all the acidity, mucus, everything from the stomach. This is one of the 6 kriyas. So these are all just purificatory acts. Unless your system is clean and nerves are clean, you cannot put fresh vitality into the system. Health is guaranteed by all these practices. Health is your wealth.
Everyone agreed they preferred the outside satsangs, especially this one, which turned into a class in the finer techniques of frisbee.
Thank you for joining. Wish you a very good trip. Take this peace and joy with you all over, wherever you go, and share it with one and all. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Those of us who remained after the retreat were taken to visit the famous temple of Kotegawa, the most sacred place of pilgrimage to Hindus and Buddhists alike. The temple is surrounded by virgin forest, and at its feet flows the Manik Ganga, where we bathed before going on to the temple itself. Lord Subramanya, the son of Lord Shiva, is worshipped in this holy shrine, but there is no image or idol of him seen in the temple. He is worshipped there as the all-pervading spirit of the universe. There is much music and processions at festival time. Kotegawa is known for its traditional firewalking ceremony. Faith in God is shown by many devotees in their ability to walk across the burning coals without getting burned. We arrived back at the Candy Ashram on January 14th, a holy day called Thai Pungal. A puja, or worship, is offered to the sun. Each makes his own salutation. The Candy Ashram is a small, beautiful, isolated sanctuary located deep within the jungle growth along the banks of the Mahavali Ganga River. Swamiji resumed his rhythm of receiving interminable visitors and giving darshan every morning. This is the ashram family and friends, with Swami Vimalananda, known as Mataji, who lives always in the ashram and manages it in Swamiji's absence. This is in front of Swamiji's kutir with Mrs. Rasaya, a pillar of Swamiji's Ceylon work and the head of the ashram's Fine Arts Society. Another pillar is Sri or Mr. Shanmugam, who was really an inspiration in all the selfless service he constantly does for Swamiji and all. Swamiji gave many talks to nearby groups and organizations. Here he speaks to the young people at the Candy Youth Club, and some of the American disciples were requested to say a few words. Longtime friend Father Joachim Pillai arranged a talk to the brothers of the nearby Catholic National Seminary, where Swamiji often speaks when in Ceylon. Swamiji gave a talk and narrated a group Hatha Yoga demonstration at the sports club grounds in Kandy. Soon after, 2 Hatha Yoga classes were set up to be taught by Swamiji's 2 French devotees who planned to remain in Ceylon for a while. One is now called Swami Yogananda, after being initiated into the Holy Order of Sannyas by Swamiji in January. At this small boy's parents' request, Swamiji in traditional ceremony initiates him into his first learning, thereby blessing his entire life to be one of truth and knowledge. Swamiji visited the town of Hatton in the upcountry, where the whole town turned up for procession down the main street and up to the temple where he gave a talk. Here he is honored by putting the sandalwood paste and the red kumkum on his forehead at the position of the third eye. At the talk later, he inaugurated a religious class for the community. Swamiji was driven all over the island to visit his devotees in different places. In Jaffna, Swamiji visited the home of Miss Raja Lakshmi. When Swamiji first came to Ceylon some 15 years ago, she became an ardent devotee and now runs a religious center in her home. It was she who wrote a biography of Swamiji in the Tamil language. Swamiji was taken to the Sri Tirunanasambandar Adinam by Sri Swaminathan Tambiran, who heads it. He claims it is Swamiji who inspired him to devote his entire life to spiritual work many years ago. From there, all walked in procession to the Jaffna Divine Life Society Hall, which was completed since Swamiji's last visit. Swamiji is the founder of this and all other Ceylon Divine Life Society branches, so there was great excitement to have him there in the new building, for which he laid the foundation stone. Inside, a worship service was performed, followed by talks and entertainment in Swamiji's honor.
Spirituality means to understand the spirit. To do this, we have to rise above all differences. For there is only one spirit, and only in spirituality can we really come together. The ultimate quest of the entire world is peace. Only in peace do we have joy. Not by acquiring things, not by doing things, not by earning or learning, but by dedication. Your entire life must be a sacrifice. Think for the sake of others, talk for the sake of others, act for the sake of others, live for the sake of others. Every action, even eating, sleeping, drinking, breathing, should aim at bringing some benefit to others. To such a man, peace is guaranteed.
The city of Trincomalee has a great meaning in the life and work of our Guru in Ceylon. It is like the kernel, the embryo of his mission on that island. It is the birthplace of our Candy Mataji and of Swami Satchidananda Mataji, her sister, who first requested Swamiji to come to Ceylon. It is here he first began his work. Here, as everywhere we went, there was such devotion shown to Swamiji. It was really so inspiring for all of us. Swamiji was given a moving reception at the Koneshwaram temple. A new temple was built less than 10 years ago on the Swami Rock, the site of an ancient temple which was long ago destroyed by invaders. The beautiful golden deities were recovered from the sea below and the new temple erected around them. Swamiji offered the coconuts to the various deities as he was taken in procession around the temple. The coconuts symbolize the individual self or ego. The last coconut was offered to the sea itself. This is the Shivananda Tapovanam, built on the foundation laid by Swamiji, where he began his Ceylon work. It is now run by Swami Satchidananda Mataji, who first invited Swamiji to Ceylon. The trip back to Kandy was full of discoveries. The refreshingly cool, tender coconut water. And a real snake charmer in Sigria. Swamiji visited Kotegawa Bazar in the tea plantation hill country. Here again the entire town took him on procession to the hall where he spoke and led them in some chants, and some of the American devotees were also requested to say a few words. As you can see, they didn't want to let him go, but a few miles away at the West Hall Tea Plantation, all of the workers were waiting for him. There are thousands of workers at this huge estate, most of whom have known and revered Swamiji for a long time. When he lived in Ceylon for 15 years, he often spoke to them and inspired their lives with his divine love. Swamiji tried to help them all come in and be seated, but there were just too many people. He suggested we move outside, and the result? was a Sermon on the Mount.
தெய்வீக வாழ்க்கை என்பது ஏதோ கோயிலுக்குள் மாத்திரம் காட்டப்படுவது அல்ல. அது உங்களுடைய தினசரி வாழ்க்கையிலேயே பரிணமிக்க வேண்டும். நீங்கள் எந்த தொழிலை செய்தாலும் சரி, எந்த நேரத்திலே ஆனாலும் சரி, சதா காலம் இறைவனுடைய சிந்தனையிலேயே இருக்க வேண்டும். உங்கள் செயலெல்லாம் இறைவனுக்காக அர்ப்பணிக்கப்பட்டதாக இருக்க வேண்டும். உதாரணமாக நீங்கள் குழந்தை கொள்ளுகின்றீர்கள். குழந்தை கொள்ளும் பொழுதும் கூட உங்கள் சிந்தனை முருகன் பால் இருக்கலாம். ஓம் முருகா, ஓம் முருகா, ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி. உங்களுக்கு விருப்பமான இஷ்ட தெய்வத்தின் நாமத்தை சொல்லிக்கொண்டே குழந்தை கொள்ளலாம்.
Swamiji is telling them to chant the name of the Lord as they pick the tea and send those divine vibrations all over the world. And that way they would elevate their own minds and also affect the minds of those people who receive the beautiful vibrations in their tea. Mr. Mutaya, a local schoolmaster and religious teacher, is honored in the traditional way. All too soon it was once more time for Swamiji to leave the Candy Ashram in Ceylon. As always, they are sad at his parting, but all are confident in the knowledge and fact that his prayers and blessings are truly always with them, and that, as Swamiji says, in yoga there is no coming or going, there is only being together. And though their faces are mixed with emotions, they are happy and thinking of the people waiting in the next country. In Malaysia, Swamiji is welcomed by his brother monk, Swami Satchidananda.
The definition of yoga is perfection in action. Whatever you do, your thoughts, words and deeds, let there be perfection. What is a perfect act? One that brings some benefit to somebody and no harm to anybody.
Within 2 days, Singapore honored Swamiji with a ceremonial headdress and procession round the temple. The Honorable Indian High Commissioner introduced his talk, and members of the audience gave a spontaneous Hatha Yoga demonstration.